Hallo meine Vampirfreunde, herzlich willkommen zurück zu Vampyr. Wir sind in unser Unterschlupf. Wir brauchen ein bisschen Blut, ein bisschen Ratten fressen hier.
Thirst for blood.
Ja, brauchst du. Ist die Frage, lebt der Typ da unten wieder? Nein. Okay. Ist am Regnen. Gute Lage. Ich höre eine Katze. Unser Auftrag ist heute Erpressung in Whitechapel. Setzte Lady Ashburys Erpressung ein Ende. Genau das machen wir. Dafür müssen wir hier durchgehen. Und den Ganzen ein Ende setzen. Jetzt ist die Frage, wer ist alles hier? Wer lauert um der Ecke rum? Welche Vampire der höllischen Nacht erwarten uns noch? Und wie kommen wir überhaupt weiter? Ich sehe gerade hier das Ende im Gelände. Da ist ein großes X dran. Aha.
I cannot
Warum?
enter.
Was ist das für ein Bugfehler? Ich kann da nicht hin. Voll die Verarsche. Ja, nice. Sackgasse oder was? Tatsache. Das hier ist eine Sackgasse, Leute. Natürlich. Warum ist hier dann eine Tür? Ein Tor? Sorry. Muss ich das verstehen? Hat das irgendeinen Grund? Muss ich da lang? Aha. Da kam ich ja her. Ups. Aua. Bist du scheiße? Die leben ja wieder. Aua. Aua. Du, mein Freund, wir sind ganz entspannt erledigt, während ich hier... Du... Mann, ey! Bist du scheiße? So nicht, mein Freund. So nicht. Das geht mal gar nicht hier. Also, tut mir leid, aber das hier ist nicht erlaubt bei mir. Was ist das? Aha. So, wo lang muss ich? Um den Ganzen ein Ende zu setzen. Ich gehe mal hier lang. Vielleicht geht's hier weiter. Ein offenes Tor bedeutet was Gutes. Muss das sein? Naja. Wir begeben uns als Vampir fort. Wir schleichen uns hinter die erste Fratze. Wenn ich bis dahin noch genug Energie habe, Ausdauer, um das Ganze so zu reißen. Weil es wird sehr, sehr, sehr knapp, sehe ich gerade. Sieht nicht gut aus, meine Freunde. Aber wir versuchen es mal. Gute Nacht, mein Freund. Bist du scheiße? Mein Freund, versuche es nicht noch einmal, diese Scheiß abzuziehen. Du bist die Mauer, du willst die Mauer nennen? Schluck mal das, mein Freund. Oh, nochmal einen drauf. Aha. Das ist echt die Mauer. Na gut, let's do it. Glaubst du wirklich, du kannst mich besiegen? Du? Ja. Traurig, aber wahr. Noch irgendwas? Welcher Sir? Wer labert hier? War ich schon hier oben? Hier muss ich mal eben kurz... Was ist das denn hier? Leider nicht verfügbar. Alles klar. Dann gehen wir mal durchs Tor, meine lieben Freunde. Moment. Dankeschön. Vampir-fortschrittsmäßige Aktion ist immer... Aha.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Komm ich jetzt da hoch?
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old laddie.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just faked me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
A gun, alcohol, and a...
I won't end up another drunk arsehole.
Good evening, Benjamin.
I'm afraid not.
Leider hat er recht, Leute. Ich kann Ihnen nicht helfen. Migräne habe ich keine Ahnung von. Noch nicht dazu fähig.
A gun.
Was sein hat, weiß ich nicht. Ich guck mal hier.
Boots will be proud of me.
How are you?
I'm not your...
Erschöpfung. Habe ich leider nicht. Brauche ich mal. Dann kann ich den Jungen mal helfen.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss stinking
So,
alley
wir gehen
with
weiter.
a weak old lavvy.
Wen haben wir da? Auch Migräne, das ist der Typ, Benjamin Palmer. Wen haben wir hier?
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Alles klar, Leute. Hätten wir die Frau schon mal ausgefragt? Wen sehen wir da? Den kennen wir doch.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me, just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius.
Dann machen wir das, mein Freund.
By the church they just mentioned. Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Joe, welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean Bissonny in that little box of loot I lost?
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a...
Quite a judgment.
But you are seeking...
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will...
Science...
See, Doctor?
Schade, Leute. Ich wollte das Ganze ungeschehen machen, mal wiederholen, aber leider hat es nicht funktioniert. Vielleicht beim nächsten Mal. Ich weiß es nicht, ob das möglich wäre. Aber wir haben erstmal lang genug gemacht, Leute. Ich würde sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Und dann fragen wir die weiteren Bürger dieser Stadt hier. Bis zum nächsten Mal bei Vampyr. Haut rein und ciao.